All right. Looks like I got it fixed. Good morning, everybody. I know I'm running a little late, but the tech difficulties had nothing to do with my coffee because I have it right here. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. And stop the music. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night on the P. Dog Night channel. It is Wednesday, October 30th, 2019. It's almost Halloween, people. Halloween's tomorrow, and I haven't carved any pumpkins yet. I'm kind of bummed about that because usually I do a whole bunch of, really elaborate pumpkins, and I just haven't had time. I've been doing too much stuff. So I'll probably be doing those tonight. I'll make a little video. Last year, if you saw I did a pumpkin carving video last year where I carved several pumpkins, fairly elaborate, using those, you buy those pumpkin carving kits at the store, and I did a couple of one easy one, and then I did a couple of the medium hard ones, and then I did one hard one. They all turned out great, and I learned some tricks on how to make it easier, and they turned out great, but I haven't done it this year. Anyway, speaking of Halloween and things that are spooky, the Crypt Keeper. Oh, you know what? Before I even go on, who am I talking about when I say the Crypt Keeper? Oh, Lord. Yeah, I'm talking about none other than Nancy Pelosi. I shouldn't call her that. Actually, you know what? Nancy Pelosi, I mean, you got to remember, she's like in her 80s. She's an old lady. She's very old, and she's actually very attractive if you don't think about who she is. But for her age, she looks fantastic. She's in pretty good shape for someone her age. Looks, keeps herself well put together. But then you remember who she is. But, if I was in my 80s or 90s, I might try and, to have a chat with Nancy Pelosi because she's a nice looking lady. But anyway, the whole impeachment thing, that's what we're going to talk about today. I got article after article about that related to the impeachment thing, and talking about the witness from yesterday. I don't have a Jussie update. Normally it's Wednesday. I usually have a Jussie update, but I don't have one. But I do have several other articles that we're going to look at today. The first one, actually, this is. I was just laughing because this really has nothing to do with impeachment. But, there's this huge conspiracy that we've been talking about since the day Donald Trump was elected, right? And obviously that has to do with Russian interference in the 2016 election. And, D.I. Frady, I see what you wrote there. Pelosi attractive. P-Duck, stop doing tequila shots. Your brain is getting fried. No. Come on. Be honest. You can tell that I'm curious of what she looked like when she was younger. She's an old lady. And for an old lady, she's a decent looking old lady. I mean, again, you have to block out everything you know about Nancy Pelosi to see it, and it's really difficult to do, but come on. Anyway, back to the Russian stuff, though. We've been talking for 3 years now, right? Because he got elected 3 years ago. No, wait, 2016, 2019. Yes, he got elected 3 years ago next month, right? Getting ready to go into his fourth year as president of the United States coming January. And we've talked about Russia constantly and how they interfered in the 2016 election. Of course, nobody has been able to quantify the interference. What did it actually do? Did they did they micro-target a bunch of old ladies in Ohio and get them to change their vote from Hillary Clinton to Donald Trump by using some secret Russian mind-bending tricks through Facebook ads, where they had a Buff Bernie coloring book, and they had the Jesus versus the devil arm wrestling, and those were the specific triggering ads that got the old ladies in Ohio and Michigan and Pennsylvania to vote for Trump, right? Russian genius. You know what? If I decided to run for president tomorrow, and I'm going to get in the race, and I'm going to run against Donald Trump, and I'm going to run against whoever, well, then you'd have to be, or whatever, or I could get in the Democratic primary. You know, I don't know why either Bernie Sanders or Pete Buttigieg or whoever, they should hire the Russians to be their campaign manager, because the Russians are clearly the most brilliant campaign people on the planet. Because, those ads they bought from Facebook, it wasn't like, I don't know if it's like $50,000 worth of ads or $100,000 worth of ads they bought, completely got Donald Trump elected out of $100,000 worth of Facebook ads versus Hillary Clinton, who spent like $1.4 billion with a B, billion dollars. All that money that Hillary Clinton spent and all the campaign they all did, and then just some Russians guys who put some Facebook ads on. Got the president elected. But anyway, so the Russians clearly have control over the American populace, and they put their fingers in places where they just need not be putting them. Don't make a dirty joke out of that. Anyway, and so there's a huge controversy right now, because the Russians are interfering again. They're interfering in an American, well, I'll say election, so to speak. Not technically not an election, but it is an election. They are interfering in an American election, an American tradition, an American icon of culture. Ladies and gentlemen, the Russians are interfering it hurts me to even bring this up. It pains me to bring this up. The Russians are interfering with Dancing with the Stars, God damn it. God flickin' flack'em, rick'em, rock'em, Russians. Liberals accuse Russians of rigging votes for Sean Spicer on Dancing with the Stars. And they're dead serious, because this is serious, people. This is important. There's a portion of the American public that is batshit crazy. There's no other way to explain why grown, functioning adults would buy into this absurd Russian boogeyman conspiracy garbage peddled by Democrats and the fake news media. But these liberals are like zombies, spoon-fed lies and propaganda. They're being fed spoon-fed lies and propaganda and just accepting it without a second thought. These buffoons actually believe the Russians control everything. You know, the Russians aren't even like in the top 10 economies in the world. Did you know that? I mean, Russia's economy actually is kind of trash. I mean, well, let's put it that way. I think there's 4 or 5 states in the United States that have bigger economy than Russia. And there's plenty of countries that have larger economies. But anyway, I'm gonna skip right down to the tweets, because so Donald Trump Jr. A lot of people are rooting for Sean Spicer just because he's a MAGA guy. You know, he's a MAGA, right? He's a MAGA dude. Let me make sure it's something real quick. I just want to make sure. Just let me make sure. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. So, so Donald Trump Jr. So a lot of people are supporting Sean Spicer. I think just for the lulls, because I've seen one of his dances on Dancing with the Stars. He's all right for someone who doesn't dance. There are way more talented people in that competition. Let's just put it that way. But Sean Spicer has been getting tons of votes from the MAGA crowd, right? And here's Donald Trump Jr. saying, "Get it on, Spicy needs you," and they put a hot pepper, right? And so it says, "Well, thank you for all the support. I'm up seventh on Dancing with the Stars tonight. Please vote." Okay, so anyway, Sean Spicer. Well, because Donald Trump Jr. has been supporting him, and lots of people who former Trump administration people or Trump, they're supporting Sean Spicer because they like the guy, right? He was in the administration, right? Well, but that couldn't be the reason that Sean is still on the show. No, sir. It's the evil, all-powerful Russians. And here's some of the tweets. Okay, Dancing ABC is Dancing with the Stars. Dancing with the Stars. Are the Russians meddling with the computer voting system? If this season isn't fixed, nothing is. There's no logical reason that Sean Spicer is still on the show. Sean Spicer needs to go home. Change the rules. The voting has been corrupted by the crook in chief, and maybe the Russians are getting their bots to vote. Dancing with the Stars hashtag at Dancing with the Stars elimination. Are the Russians corrupting your voting system with Spicer being safe? Seriously, Sean Spicer survives another week. This is getting pathetic. I blame the Russians. The Russians have hacked Dancing ABC. It is ridiculous that Sean Spicer is still on the show. He should have been the first to go, next to Lamar Odom. Oh, little Lamar Odom hate there. What can't a brother get a break? Come on, man. Lamar was pretty bad, though. But so is Sean Spicer. He's not a good dancer. I'm sorry. So basically, the Russians are effing with the results of Dancing with the Stars, as whole Spicer should be gone. It's hilarious. Can someone explain to me how Dancing with the Stars works? Because I don't watch this is someone who don't even watch the fucking show. I don't watch the show, but it appears that Sean Spicer keeps getting the lowest score, but isn't getting eliminated. Are the Russians interfering in American reality TV now? Collusion. Anyway, yeah, so the Spicer hate is real, people. What the? Does Spicer have the Russians voting like Trump did? I think it's time for expert judges to take over. After all, it's a talent contest, and Spicer can't beat out the last two who left. I'm so pissed off. Well, Dancing with the Stars has a popular voting system online where you can vote for your favorite people, and Spicy is getting boosted by the MAGA crowd. You know what? I'm gonna start going on there and voting myself. Here we go. Sean Spicer's colluding with the Russians to get votes on Dancing with the Stars. No way he's actually still there because people want him there. Well, apparently some of the MAGA crowd wants him there, and they are voting their asses off. Man, they are voting their butts off. I finished my dance on Dancing with the Stars. My best score so far. Now I need your votes. Voting closes soon. Please vote now. Text Sean 10 times to 21523, whatever, and cast 10 more. And I'm not sure how you can make another Dancing with the Stars appearance after this week. You are obviously getting help from the Russians. There's nothing else that can explain how a klutz like you can still be there. I no longer will be watching Dancing with the Stars. All the people who've written these tweets, I know you're not watching my show because I'm even though I'm highlighting your tweets. But I have to say something to you in all sincerity. I'm sorry that this is happening to you. I'm sorry. Okay, let's say good morning to who's here, who's on this in the chat, because I appreciate y'all in the chat. And well, no, someone says, "Oh, are people lurking or what?" I don't know. There's not that many people here today, but that's okay. Those of you who are here, I appreciate very much. Good morning, Zombie Teddy, who is first and gets the bell. Good morning. Thank you for coming. Good morning, Tyler F., Jaeger Pony, the gayest person on YouTube, Duck Dog, D.I. Freighter, and Pinkalo, who are in the chat, plus a couple of you out there lurking. There's a couple of you there. I know it's a busy day. In fact, for Tyler F., in fact, kind of hell of a busy day at work this morning for me, because Tyler lurks at work like I do. I listen to streams when I'm at work too. Sometimes like Monkey in the Morning's on while I'm at work, or I listen to a lot of YouTube stuff while at work, because my job's fairly monotonous. I just scan stuff, make sure the package is right, and I keep going on. So that's just how it is. So hey, Chicago Mike, you're welcome to you too. All right, so let's get into today's impeachment folly day. Impeachment inquiry. And I got a whole bunch of stuff on impeachment. Now, this first one isn't technically about impeachment, but it is an interesting development, because the other day, apparently, a judge ruled that the grand jury testimony from that went in the Mueller investigation could be released to Congress. Well, not so fast. D.C. Circuit halts disclosure of Mueller grand jury materials just hours before the release. Hello, Maddie. How you doing? Good morning, C. Thomas. Good morning, Rolling Bear. I'm guessing that just now the notification went out, because I noticed that happens when I get a bunch of people at the same time. My notifications don't necessarily go out right away on my thing. So anyway, D.C. halts disclosure of Mueller grand jury materials just hours before the release. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit temporarily halted the release of grand jury materials from former special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation Tuesday, just hours ahead of their scheduled distribution. A 3-judge panel issued a short directive saying the grand jury documents will be temporarily withheld while it considers an emergency appeal from the Department of Justice, which hopes to shield those materials on a permanent basis, which is normally the law. The purpose of this administrative stay is to give the court sufficient opportunity to consider the emergency motion for stay pending appeal, and should not be construed in any way as a ruling on the merits of that motion, the decision reads. So this is just give us a little bit of time so we could go through this judgment. Judges Patricia Millett, Cornelia Pillard, and Robert Wilkins sit on the panel. Former President Barack Obama appointed all 3 judges to the bench. So they can't say this is some, right-wing nut job appointee doing this. They just wanted some time to check the merits of the request. U.S. District Judge Burl Howell ordered the Justice Department to furnish the Mueller grand jury evidence to the House Judiciary Committee by Wednesday. House Democrats are seeking the information pursuant to their impeachment inquiry of President Donald Trump. Howell's ruling required the Justice Department to share all portions of the Mueller report that were redacted due to grand jury secrecy rules. She also ordered DOJ to provide transcripts or exhibits referenced in redacted passages. In its filing, the D.C. Circuit, the Justice Department, the Justice Department urged quick action because Howell's Wednesday deadline threatens an irreparable loss of grand jury secrecy before this court even has a chance to act on the department's stay motion. So that makes sense. If they've got to deliberate on the motion, and supposedly that was supposed to be released by today, well, you know what? The court has to. That's the only way they can make a full decision without compromising what's normally kept in secret, even from the Congress critters. Because the Congress critters, as soon as they get that stuff, it's all going to leak everywhere anyway. Because but you know how it is. We'll get to that. Let's see. Elsewhere in the filing, DOJ said Howe's decision represents an extraordinary abrogation of grand jury secrecy. It said some materials are squarely protected by federal rules of evidence, while others relate to ongoing criminal matters. The House Democrats counter that their impeachment inquiry is a judicial proceeding. No, it's a political proceeding. It's not a judicial proceeding. Yeah. As such, grand jury secrecy rules do not apply. I don't know about all that. I guess we'll find out. These judges, the circuit judges, are going to rule on that. And then I imagine it would probably go to the Supreme Court after that. And probably by that time, it will be too late because all this shit will be over anyway, but it doesn't matter. Most redactions are in the first volume of the Mueller report. That section surveys Russian interference with the 2016 presidential election and allegations of collusion. Collusion, which is not a legal term, with the Trump campaign. Of course, they're using collusion and conspiracy in the same weighted the same as language-wise. The second volume has far fewer redactions. It largely contains the special counsel's legal analysis of obstruction of justice issues, or as I like to call it, obstruction of injustice, which is what's happening right now. Anyway, so that's an interesting ruling. That's probably necessary. Moving on. Next, we got House Democrat Jeff Van Drew signals he's not voting for Pelosi's impeachment bill. Okay, this, of course, Breitbart's on the right. I'm just being full disclosure here. But anyway, this is a fact. Representative Jeff, so there's some cracks. Let's just say there's some cracks in the wall that they're trying to build here that, whatever. Good morning, Green Badger Outdoors. I wanted to say hello real quick. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. By the way, before I even go on, reminder: the Morning Night Live is sponsored by you. I gotta make myself much bigger and larger than life by doing this. Hey, the Morning Night Live is sponsored by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please, if you're thinking about it, or while you're thinking about it, okay, while you're thinking about it, because I'm talking about it right now, right here. There's that little share arrow, or maybe up here if you're on a phone, but whatever. Click the share arrow, share the stream out. I also did it out on Twitter, which if you'll follow me on Twitter at PDogNight, at right here. That's my Twitter, Minds, and Gab handle. If you use any of those, or just click the share button. It'll take you to many choices of social media. It takes 3 clicks. Click the button, click the social media you want, and click to send, and it will send it out for you on your personal social media. Also, if you like what we're doing, I'll remind you of this, but because I know you like me, hit the like button, or Duck Dog, you can hit the dislike, and super chats. I don't have them. We don't. Oh, wait, but I do have a Streamlabs link. Donations and super chats are done in the Streamlabs link in the description down below, where if you, for as little as $1, I'll read whatever you write for the most part. I mean, I'm not going to, you know me, there's not a whole lot that I won't read. But anyway, if you want to contribute to the show and contribute your grand wisdom to the show, do it in a super chat, and I'll make sure to read it in the description down below, streamlabs.com/PDogNight. All right, moving on. Jeff Van Drew, who is a Democrat, has decided that he's not so interested in. He likely vote against the resolution by the House Democrats to formalize their secret impeachment inquiry against President Donald Trump, prompting more uncertainty about whether Thursday's expected vote will go on as planned. Asked by NBC News reporter Alex Moe if he supports the measure, Van Drew replied, "I would imagine that I am not voting for it." Van Drew, whose district President Trump won in 2016, is among roughly a dozen House Democrats who opposed the impeachment inquiry. "I have long maintained the position that the impeachment or potential impeachment would not be good for Democrats or Republicans, the lawmaker told Fox News in September. So here's someone named Ryan Hutchins who's tweeting that, said he'll likely vote against it, and there's the quote, blah, blah, blah. The House announced Monday that it'll move Thursday to determine whether to establish impeachment inquiry procedures into President Donald Trump. The text of the resolution was not immediately released, but the House Rule Committee Chairman Jim McGovern said it would provide a clear path forward on the impeachment inquiry. However, even before Van Drew's comments, House Majority Whip Steny Hoyer had already poured some cold water on plans to vote for the measure Thursday, telling reporters on Capitol Hill, "We're going to have to consider whether or not it's ready to go on Thursday. I hope that is the case." Pelosi wrote in a letter Monday that the resolution was not legally necessary, but the House decided to take the vote to eliminate any doubt as to whether the Trump administration may withhold documents, prevent witness testimony, disregard duly authorized subpoenas, or continue obstructing the House of Representatives. See, here's what they're trying to do, and I'm not even going to read the rest of this. Right now, they're just trying to set up an obstruction of justice case. So the House Republicans have been saying that, you know what, this is not even a formal inquiry. Just because Nancy Pelosi waved her magic wand from her broom and said I'm authorizing an impeachment inquiry, there's been no vote. So these committees are going off doing these committees. Adam Schiff's committee is going off and doing this secret backroom stuff, right? And having their little hearings and deposition stuff in secret. And then, even though there's some Republicans in there, the Republicans aren't leaking what's coming out of those depositions or whatever, testimonies. But funny, everything in those things that are favorable to Democrats or detrimental to President Trump all ends up in the news somehow. You know, for example, the guy who testified yesterday, this is a behind closed doors testimony, supposed to be secret, and literally during the testimony, there's New York Times reporters tweeting about what the testimony is. I'm like, well, and it's all, obviously it's all negative for President Trump, which is fine. There's going to be negative stuff in these testimonies for the president. I don't care about that. But the idea that these are supposed to be secret, behind closed doors, in a skiff, blah, 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 testimonies, and then it's already it's already being reported by the major newspapers. So it cracks me up. Let's just put it that way. All right, so we got the idea of that. And speaking of, so we're talking about cracks in the armor. God, I hate these pop-ups things. Cracks in the impeachment wall. Is the solid Democratic front in favor of impeachment beginning to crumble? It's probably more correct to say that it never existed at all. We got two clear signs this week that rank and file enthusiasm for the Pelosi-Schiff effort to rid the country of the orange menace is, shall we say, well controlled. New Jersey Democrat Jeff Van Drew, which we just talked about, stated that he will likely vote against Pelosi's resolution to formalize the impeachment inquiry when it comes up Thursday or Friday or sometime before the end of the Holocene, whatever that means. Van Drew told NBC reporter Alex Moe that I would imagine that I'm not voting for it. To get straight to the point, Van Drew's district was won by none other than Donald J. Trump in 2016. And Van Drew knows exactly which side his political toast is buttered on. That is the one that hits the ground when dropped. Now that's some creative writing right there. By the way, good morning, Pirate Pete. Good morning, Rolling Bear. I think I said, and Maddie too. Good morning, Maddie. There are evidently at least a dozen other Democratic reps in much the same situation as Van Drew, though none of these have spoken up yet. That's fascinating that you don't hear about those people, do you? All you hear about is the impeachment inquiry and how it's going to be just run through the House and have this vote on this thing. But, you know, Pelosi even was weird about it yesterday when she was asked. She said, oh, no, something about, this is not an impeachment resolution. Well, yeah, that's kind of just a play on words. So obviously it's about the impeachment inquiry. Moving on, Steny Hoyer, the House Majority Whip, refused to commit to an actual vote on the matter, even though Mrs. Pelosi insists that it is, in fact, happening Thursday. We're going to have to consider whether or not it's ready to go on Thursday. Yeah, because you know what? The reason they have to consider whether or not it's ready to go on Thursday has nothing to do with whether or not the resolution is ready to go. It's they have to count votes, and apparently they may not have all the votes they need. So anyway, we're going to have to consider whether or not it's ready to go Thursday. Steny said, "I hope that's the case." The fact that Pelosi failed to clear matters with the majority whip, part of whose duty is to arrange things like votes, suggests a level of disorganizations that beggars the imagination. What the hell does that mean? Anyway, Nancy couldn't walk across the hall. She couldn't send one of her dozens of staffers with a message. They apparently don't have phones in the Longworth building. As for email, well, that's for peasants. Hey, C. Thomas, they said your name. That's for peasants, and we can't expect her to use that now, can we? So anyway, and here they go. This is simply further evidence, if any was needed, that the impeachment effort is an empty scam, a massive PR stunt with no substance to speak of behind it. It is the Potemkin campaign jimmied between Pelosi, Schiff, and the anti-Trump media. I am fascinated by this. Steny Hoyer, not so sure on the votes, not ready to know if they're going to be ready by Thursday because they haven't even counted votes on this yet. This may... So they've moved forward with the secret inquiry without even knowing if they could get the votes. Maybe that's why they never had a resolution in the first place. Fascinating. Now, I'm skipping some of this, but there's an update from Monica Showalter. No less than 3 polls in battleground states. Democrats are desperate to hold signal that the impeachment effort is decisively losing with the voters. They can read about that here. Where's this? Is this... Oh, Washington Examiner. I think I already have these articles pulled up. All right, moving on. Let's see. White House. Nancy Pelosi impeachment resolution, an illegitimate sham. Well, this is a Breitbart article, so they're going to tell you what the White House thinks. Excuse me. Oh, my gosh, that's unprofessional. I need to drink coffee. Obstruct you from seeing no crime being committed. Yeah, I'm beginning to call this the, because they're trying to get him. So the White House is resisting, right? And they're saying, they're trying to build an obstruction of justice case. Well, I want to start a hashtag called obstruction of injustice because it's almost as though there's really no there there, but they're trying, man. They're trying to get everything they can, and they're using this Ukraine thing, which is cracking me up because, here's another part of the Ukraine thing that, and I'll get into it in a minute, but, let me do the super chat first. I heard the bell. Ring! Thank you, C. Thomas, donating $1 for the super chat in the Streamlabs link in the description down below. He said, C. Thomas says, I've seen this 1,000 times and still get Schiff for it. Is that a synonym? Schiff? Schiff for it. This whole impeachment inquiry is both extremely synthetic and extremely homosexual. Well, I don't know about that. This will play out just like Bill Clinton's impeachment, but with even less proof and more imagination. Yeah, way back when the Bill Clinton was being impeached, because I was very skeptical that any impeachment follies that the Republicans were doing at the time would help anything, and it did kind of hurt the Republicans and didn't hurt Clinton at all. They would have probably been better off. Yes, he lied under oath about the I did not have sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. They rather than go through impeachment for that tiny bit of it. I mean, yes, he lied and he ended up getting disbarred for, I think, forever. But, maybe they could have just censured him for that part of it. I don't know. I mean, yes, he broke the law, and it's probably not a good thing for your president to be lying under oath. But if we really wanted to talk about presidential lies throughout history, no president would have survived their terms. Because just saying. But hey, hi, Mr. Dax. But thank you, C. Thomas. By the way, thank you so much for the dollar super chat in the Streamlabs link. If you want to be a part of the show, for sure, you can always do that Streamlabs super chat. Anyway, so back to this. I know I didn't finish my thought there, but that's okay. He did not have sexual relations with her, but he did find a few loopholes. Yeah, well, the key word in that sentence, holes. Oh, I see what you're saying. See, Thomas, you're saying this is a gay op, which is a term we use. We hear a lot on the Hard Bastard station. Have you ever listened to Hard Bastard? This is a gay op. Anyway, okay, so the White House responded to an impeachment resolution released by Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Tuesday, calling it an illegitimate sham. White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said in a statement, first, I still haven't even seen this Stephanie Grisham person. Apparently, whatever. The White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said in a statement, the resolution put forward by Speaker Pelosi confirms that House Democrats' impeachment has been an illegitimate sham from the start, as it lacked any proper authorization by a House vote. The White House protested that the resolution only allowed House intelligence. God. Dog! What the hell's going on with you today? Here, excuse me. Okay, I'm much better now. Let's try this again. The White House protested that the resolution only allowed House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff to hold more one-sided hearings without due process for the president, noting that the administration's rights were undefined, unclear, and uncertain. The resolution does not change the fundamental fact that House Democrats refuse to provide basic due process rights to the administration, the statement read. Pelosi released the text of the resolution on Tuesday for a proposed vote on Thursday, which would give Schiff the lead role in the investigation. The evidence we have already collected paints the picture of a president who abused his power by using multiple levels of government to press a foreign country to interfere in the 2020 election, House Democrats said in a statement. They keep using this. It's very carefully worded that they say he's pressing a foreign country to interfere in the 2020 election. Well, there's a little problem with that. See, it was clear from the memo of the call, and we'll get into that other dude who testified the other day. But in the memo of that call, he clearly was talking about the 2016 election, and before we actually heard about this, and he mentioned Joe Biden and the son and whatnot in Burisma, because apparently this guy that testified yesterday said, "Oh, well, they left out some things in the call, like he mentioned Burisma." Because here's the thing: Burisma is under investigation by the Ukrainian jurisprudence, whatever division, the legal stuff in Ukraine, right? That investigation has been resumed before President Trump made this call. And it's just it's funny how, this whole Burisma thing, right? With Hunter Biden gets hired by this energy company, Burisma, that's under investigation by the Ukrainian government for corruption. And Hunter Biden is making a minimum. It's somewhere between 50,000 and 183,000 a month being on the board of Burisma. Well, you know who else has a child? An offspring who's getting paid by Burisma? None other than Nancy Pelosi. Mike, what a coincidence that the former vice president and the Democratic leader in the House, who's now the Speaker of the House, both have offspring that are paid by this Ukrainian energy company that's involved in a scandal that's being investigated by the Ukrainian government. How go figure. Now, no one's talked about Nancy Pelosi's son that much, who's involved with this same company, okay? But is that just a coincidence? I mean, is it just... So anyway, the Ukrainian government was already reopened their case against Burisma, that their investigation, right? And so Trump's on this call and he talks about, well, yeah, I heard about Joe Biden, blah, blah, blah. He's not in... Remember, the United States and Ukraine have a signed treaty relating to their relationship and government corruption. Okay? Now, so when the Democrats paint this as what's their verbiage here? A president who abused his powers by using multiple levers of government to press a foreign country to interfere in the 2020 election. Well, they're clearly referring to this, just mentioning Joe Biden, who happens to be related to his son, of course, who happens to be on the board of the company that the Ukrainian government is investigating for corruption prior to this phone call. They already had reopened the investigation. The one that was killed when the prior prosecutor, whether coincidence or by design, was pressed to be fired by none other than Joe Biden. With a fire the prosecutor or we'll withhold these $1 billion in guaranteed loans. Huh. Now, they keep talking quid pro quo in the president's phone call, which wasn't explicitly there, but it's kind of like with implicit bias. Well, this was implicit quid pro quo. But Joe Biden bragged about his quid pro quo. Now, granted, there's not explicitly because they're investigating Burisma and the company his son makes $900,000 a year for. By the way, Joe Biden also later got some money from Burisma. That was reported very quietly, but it was there. If you looked through the articles, it was there. But all these coincidences, and now one of Pelosi's offspring also is employed somehow by this Burisma. Oh, they're keeping that shit quiet, aren't they? All right, moving on. What's this one? Oh yeah. I better do a full screen for this one. Too little, too late. Hill Republicans pan Pelosi's impeachment probe vote. Thank you, C. Thomas. Another super chat for $1. Democrats, the Republican Party and Trump are so corrupt, criminal, and shady. Also Democrats, look, we need to make our money somehow, and it has to be a lot any way possible. Please, we totally are not hypocrites, guys. Look over there. Orange man bad. Woo! Thank you, C. Thomas, for the $1 super chat via the Streamlabs link down below, please. I got a cable bill to pay. Anyway, so anyway, the Republicans now, I don't think the Republicans played this well anyway. They should have demanded a vote and said, fine, you know what, you have this vote. But now they're saying, too little, too late. Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced late Monday afternoon that following weeks of criticism about the legitimacy or lack thereof of her impeachment process, the House will vote this week on a resolution that affirms the ongoing impeachment probe against President Donald Trump. Since she previously refused to hold a vote on the matter, the announcement marks a change of course for the Speaker, who wrote to colleagues that the resolution will eliminate any doubt about whether or not the White House could continue obstructing the House of Representatives due to questions about the probe's legitimacy. But while a full House vote would speak to one part of the White House's and Republicans' criticism of the investigation, which included due process and fairness concerns about the president's legal rights and House Republicans' investigative powers, and Republicans are saying this vote is too little too late anyway. Speaker Pelosi is, quote, this is a quote, Speaker Pelosi is finally admitting what the rest of America already knew, stated White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham, that Democrats were conducting an unauthorized impeachment proceeding, refusing to give the president due process, and their secret, shady, closed-doors depositions are completely and irreversibly illegitimate. The closed-door depositions, which have been leaked to the press, we seem to find, it's funny how the press knows exactly what was said in these closed-door depositions. Anyway, codifying a sham process halfway through doesn't make it any less of a sham process, said House Oversight Committee ranking member Jim Jordan. The Senate Judiciary Chair Lindsey Graham said holding a vote at this point, it's a bit like unringing a bell, as House Democrats have selectively leaked information in order to damage President Trump for weeks. Yeah, they literally are they're leaking everything that's bad for the president. You notice you don't hear anything about the questions the Republicans asked, right? Well, get that off my channel. I'm going to skip this one for a second. This is the... Oh, well, I'll come back to this one because that's funny. But here's something that Jim Jordan said. Again, it's Breitbart, but whatever. Breitbart's been... It's reporting and whatever. So in these depositions or testimonies, whatever, Jordan says that Schiff has directed Vindman not to answer certain questions from Republicans. What? Now, if this is true, come on, man. Adam Schiff prevented Republicans. Oh, yeah. Adam Schiff prevented Republicans from asking impeachment probe witness Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman, the House's top Ukraine expert, some questions at his closed-door deposition in the Capitol basement Tuesday. Now, think about this. He's blocking Republicans from asking questions, and then still leaking out what testimony was given. That's amazing. Democrats have accused Republicans of trying to figure out who the whistleblower is with their line of questioning during Vindman's deposition. Oh, that's their excuse, that they're trying to protect the whistleblower. Jordan, who witnessed Vindman's deposition, said he could not go into explicit detail about the questions Schiff blocked. The Ohio lawmaker, however, explained to the reporters, quote, Chairman Schiff has prevented the witness from answering certain questions we had during the deposition. When we asked Vindman, who he spoke to after important events in July, Adam Schiff said, no, we're not going to let him answer that question, even though at the start of every one of these depositions he said, this is not classified. Schiff is the leader of the House Democrats' impeachment inquiry. The Democrat-led House Committee on Oversight and Reform, Intelligence, and Foreign Affairs are conducting the impeachment. Oh, this is the impeachment investigation this time, not inquiry. While briefing reporters alongside Jordan, House Minority Whip Steve Scalise acknowledged that Schiff's decision to block some questions had undermined his claim that the process is fair. Scalise noted, quote, even his claims now that the process is fair because Republicans can ask questions has been undermined because he's now directing witnesses not to answer questions that he doesn't want the witness to answer. He has not cut off one Democrat. He has not interrupted one Democrat. That reeks, and by the way, if you want to talk about a Soviet-style process, again, that might be what they do in the Soviet Union, not in the United States of America. So, yeah, they're blocking the Republicans from asking some questions. I mean, granted, I don't think you want to, well, I do. I want to know who the whistleblower is and know everything about the whistleblower, but from a legal standpoint, I suppose that the whistleblower is being protected. Scalise went on, we have been highly critical of the fact that it completely denies due process to Republican members of Congress, as well as to the White House, Scalise said. Jordan dismissed criticisms from Democrats who say the Republicans are trying to find out who the whistleblower that triggered the impeachment probe is. We're just, quote, we're just trying to get information that we are entitled to, and the witness is supposed to answer our questions, Jordan, the top Republican on the House Committee on Oversight and Reform, declared. Jordan noted he wanted to talk to a half a dozen sources cited by the whistleblower in the complaint that triggered the impeachment probe. It's tough to determine someone's credibility if you don't know who they are and you can't put them under oath and ask them questions, he added. Debbie Wasserman. Do I even want to quote Debbie Wasserman Schultz? I really don't. I did FTG, and it's not even FTG Thursday, and I'm FTGing her. Anyway, it's just more background information. So now, part of the problem that the Democrats are having, one of the minor things they're having is, hey, apparently there's a new poll out that shows there's weak support for impeachment. The new USA Today Suffolk University survey finds nearly 2 in 5 independent voters would prefer the House drop the inquiry entirely. 40% of Americans agree that the impeachment process led by U.S. Representative Adam Schiff, Democrat, California, is a, quote, political lynching. Oh, that's interesting. That's exactly how pollsters worded the question in a shocking new USA Today Suffolk University survey published Tuesday. 4 in 10 Americans sampled in the poll agreed that President Trump's controversial and incendiary term fit. What the hell does that mean? Anyway, further. Oh, I see. Saying that wording fit, that it was a political lynching. Interesting. Further, 9% of Democrats agree political lynching accurately describes the process. A whopping 43% of independents agree as well. Among Republicans, 73% said the phrase accurately describes the process. Even 35% of Hispanics agreed with the use of that phrase. Well, that's not good for Democrats. When asked whether Americans wanted the House to vote to impeach the president, just 36% of all respondents said they did. Among Democrats, the support is very high at 70%. Only 8% of Republicans want the House to vote to impeach the president. But the troubling number for the Democratic-controlled House is that only 22% of independents favor impeachment. Another 36% of independents said they would prefer the House to drop the issue. Anyway, so that's just that's the highlights of that poll. That's the only thing I wanted to read on that one. And let's see. The Democratic star witness, as we're finding out, apparently never had direct contact with Trump. Had concerns about the Ukraine phone call. What was there was one? There's a one-liner in this that I wanted to talk about. So this national security. Okay, what's his name? Alexander Vindman. Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman went before the committee, right? And the first thing he said that he listened in on the call in the Situation Room with colleagues from the NSC and the Office of the Vice President. Vindman made a point of saying that the American people already have the most important piece of evidence, the transcript of the phone call. As the transcript is in the public record, we are all aware of what was said, he noted. Vindman also admitted that he never had any contact or communication with President Trump about Ukraine or anything else. Now, this is supposed to be the most knowledgeable person about Ukraine, but, whatever. He said, I've never had direct contact or communications with the president, he said. So if he had concerns, why wouldn't he have brought those concerns to the White House? Anyway, in his testimony, Vindman noted that the president made the call at the behest of the NSC after Zelensky's party won parliamentary elections in a landslide victory, undermining allegations that the call was part of a quid pro quo conspiracy. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know that. The NSC, National Security Council, I think, or whatever, he made the call at the behest of the NSC after they won. Okay, interesting. So instead of, he wasn't calling to ask for any favors, it just happened to be on the call that he was congratulating the president. The NSC proposed that President Trump call President Zelensky to congratulate him, Vindman said. He told lawmakers that he was concerned about Trump's request that Zelensky looked into the allegations of corruption involving Joe Biden and his son Hunter. I do not think it was proper to demand. Now, that's an interesting word. I don't think it is proper to demand. Demand. I don't know if it sounded like demand in the so-called transcript or memo. Demand that a foreign government investigate a U.S. citizen, and I was worried about the implications for the U.S. government's support of Ukraine, Vindman said. He added, I realized that if Ukraine pursued an investigation into the Bidens and Burisma, it would likely be interpreted as a partisan play, which would undoubtedly result in Ukraine losing the bipartisan support it had thus far maintained. So he's interesting. They must have released this testimony because everyone seems to have it. I don't know why they're even doing it behind closed doors, so to speak. But that's interesting. So he wasn't saying that he was worried about the quid pro quo. He was concerned that it could be interpreted as a partisan play. Interesting. After stating he was primarily concerned about the political optics, he went on to say that the partisan play would undermine U.S. national security. Following the call, I again reported my concerns to NSC's lead counsel, he said. The top NSC lawyer is 52-year-old John Eisenberg, who has emerged as a central figure in Ukraine Gate. So, interesting. He didn't make this call because he was calling to ask for anything. He made the call because the NSC said he should, and, whatever. Democrats opened their impeachment, she uses inquisition here, against the president after an anti-Trump whistleblower alleged that Trump pushed Zelensky to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter as part of a quid pro quo. Since then, a parade of witnesses have testified behind closed doors about the president's alleged effort to pressure Ukraine and a moment in a yacht in Ukraine. And Intel Chairman Adam Schiff has leaked details deemed helpful to the Dems' impeachment efforts to the media. Meanwhile, the White House and the president allies maintain there was no such quid pro quo, and Trump disclosed everything anyone needed to know when he released the transcript of his July phone call with Zelensky. So there you go. I'm not going to read it anymore. It's just tweets that people talking about it, so that's cool. I'm going to get into Twitter trends because we're already running behind. I know I started late, but that's kind of where I'm at today. Just a reminder, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button if you like what we're doing, and share this out regardless if you haven't done so far. I'm going to close these other windows real quick because I've had enough of this whole impeachment inquiry. Okay. Let's get into Twitter trends. Now, by the way, real quick, thank you, Tyler F. and Mr. Jack Cochran. Are you here, Jack? Thank you if you're here or not, thanks for retweeting the show. I'll catch you later if I didn't. And also to G Prime. And I do know G Prime tends to tends to lurk in the background. That's cool. I'm happy that you come by and retweet the show. I know you're usually at work at this time. And did I say good morning, Marsupial Gamer and Mike Savage? I didn't see you come in, but you're here now. So everyone who's there and here, thanks for being here. So let's get into today's Twitter trends. Now, we did lose an actor that I thought, he's kind of an obscure actor, but I think he's a pretty funny dude. Was a pretty funny dude. John Witherspoon, the actor, probably known. Well, he's the guy who coordinates. He's the guy who had the suits where he'd match the shirt to the lining of his jacket, and he was also in the Fridays movies with Ice Cube. John Witherspoon, actor and comedian, has died. He was 77 years old. He played Ice Cube's father in the Friday film series and Sean and Marlon Wayans' dad on the Wayans brothers. And life will not be as funny without him, Ice Cube wrote in a Twitter post. He was a funny dude. It was a particular type of humor that it's interesting. Like this woman says, I hope John Witherspoon knew how necessary he was for our culture. He was a funny dude. So rest in peace, John Witherspoon. When I was growing up, this was all the protection I need. This is what makes you a man. Okay. So anyway, rest in peace, John Witherspoon. And the second, rest in peace, Pops is also related to John Witherspoon. Marvin Harrison is trending number 2. What happened? Marvin Harrison trending, y'all. No, there wasn't any bodies caught. It's just responding to a trivia question. Okay. So apparently there was a trivia question about Marvin Harrison, and there's the one right there. That's whenever someone's trending, we get the Denzel gif. Let's see. Saw Marvin Harrison trending and was gonna make a "did he kill someone else's" joke. But I see Twitter has that covered. Now I'm actually trying to figure out why he's trending. Everyone is okay. I don't know why. Apparently did Marvin Harrison kill somebody? I didn't know anything about that. All right. Well, anyway, Marvin Harrison's trending for some reason, and I don't know why. Anyway, rest in peace, Pops. Again, that's related to John Witherspoon passing away. There's a couple more pictures of John Witherspoon. Funny dude. Wednesday Wisdom. The first Wednesday is trending at number 4. Let's get some Wednesday Wisdom real quick. Things are not always what they seem. Oh. Oh, that dog thought he was going to walk on that water, not knowing that it wasn't water. We'll see that one more time. Oh, dang. All right, let's find another good Wednesday Wisdom here. Let's see. What words of wisdom have helped you when you've been through tough times? You never know. They could be the words someone needs to help lift themselves today, too. So here's a good Wednesday Wisdom. Share a piece of wisdom that might help someone through a tough time. That's a good one. I'll leave it at that. That's our Wednesday Wisdom for the day. Moving on, Easy Fire. Oh my gosh. Easy Fire, large brush fire in Simi Valley. Trimmers evacuations. This is oh man. So now there's a fire in Simi Valley. Apparently some of these fires might be arson. I've been reading things. I don't know for sure, and they'll certainly get the investigation, but a view of the fire getting closer to the Reagan Library from the stream. Now, some people probably celebrate that because they're assholes. Looks to be 5 to 10 engines there already. So someone must have started this fire. If anyone can tell me if the fire is moving more towards Moore Park or TO, I want to know if I need to call my family and have them start packing. Yeah, it's just devastating, these fires, man. And so anyway, that one's trending. Anyone in California, please be careful. Vicky is trending. Now, apparently trending with Whoa Vicky and Bad Barbie. Y'all know who Whoa Vicky is? Whoa Vicky is that crazy white girl who calls herself black. And apparently, did they have a fight or something? Okay, let's see. First of all, here it is. Here's the first tweet on this, and I'm going to laugh about it. Okay? Y'all really saying Whoa Vicky beat up Bad Barbie with them whack-ass pity pats she hit her with. So apparently, Whoa Vicky and Bad Barbie, who is, what's her name? Bergoli? What's her name? Something Bergoli. The Catch Me Outside girl. Who they call her Bad Barbie now. And then Whoa Vicky is the white girl who's, I'm black. I'm black. I'm black. Dumbass girl. Anyway, so here apparently, let's see. Bad Barbie got into a fight with Whoa Vicky after she caught her in the studio with her boyfriend, Little Got It. Okay, so here's the, is this Bad Barbie and Whoa Vicky in a fight? Is this, this is internet shit. Honestly. Yep, here it is. Oh, they're fighting. Yep. Got caught in the, so these two girls are an internet meme into themselves. So two internet memes crossed paths and got into a fight. So there's Whoa Vicky beating the crap out of Bad Barbie, or one or the other. I don't know who's where, but apparently someone decided to film it instead of stop it. Do we want to even hear the audio? Let's hear the audio on this. Here we go. We not fitting to have that in here. Oh, shit. All right. So anyway, that's why Vicky is trending and Bad Barbie's trending, and me not caring is trending now. All right, moving on. It's National Candy Corn Day. Oh, Lord. Are you kidding me? All right, chat. I got something for you to vote on because no audio. No audio? Oh, okay. There's, yeah. That's okay. You didn't need to hear it. It wasn't that important. Thanks for letting me know. National Candy Corn Day. National Candy Corn Day. Here's your task of the day in the chat. 1, if you like candy corn. 2, if you can't stand candy corn. I'm kind of in, well, there's an in-between there too, but is candy corn candy corn is a vegetable, right? National Candy Corn Day? Come to the dark side. We have candy corn. I know there's a lot of people who just hate candy corn. Candy corn is fascism. See, Lindsay, good morning, by the way. He said candy corn is fascism. I don't know about that. All right, moving on. Wednesday motivational stick. Boondocks is trending because, again, John, what's his name? John Witherspoon was a voice in the Boondocks series. I think he voiced Uncle Ruckus in the Boondocks cartoon. Or no. Oh, what? Yeah. Anyway, so John, a lot of props for John Witherspoon today. Artist of the Decade. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Taylor Swift is set to receive Artist of the Decade award at the 2019 American Music Awards. Artist of the Decade. Wow. Really? Taylor Swift? I'm wondering, let's think about this decade, 2010 to 2019, okay? Can you think of another artist who has possibly been more prominent than Taylor Swift? I'm curious. I'm I don't follow on pop music that carefully anymore. I hope they invite Kanye West to the show, though. Interesting. Taylor Swift will be receiving the Artist of the Decade award at the 2019 American Music Awards, where she is nominated for 5 awards. Okay. Who do I mean, ahead of, well, Beyonce's more 2000 to 2010. Maybe Bruno Mars could be in that category. I don't know. Anyone? Okay, I tell you what. If y'all have a nomination for Artist of the Decade other than Taylor Swift, let me know. Who do I have to beg for Selena Gomez to give Taylor the Artist of the Decade award? I don't know. And I just want to go through this to see if people are trashing this idea. Don't anyone, I repeat, anyone, go tell you that Taylor Swift doesn't deserve to be AMA's Artist of the Decade. Slap them with facts, make room for their opinions, bombard everyone with numbers and legitimate rankings and actual data. Let's see. Okay, so she's the number one. Okay, all right. Here's some facts. Okay. Yes, I agree with you, Maddie. I'm not a Beyonce fan. I have never understood. I mean, the only time I understand the Beyonce hype is when she sings live, sometimes songs that aren't hers. Okay, because her music just kind of grates on me for some reason. Never knew why. Maybe it's just her diva qualities kill me too. Anyway, all right. So let's see. Taylor Swift, number one album artist of the decade, 26.7 million in U.S. sales. The artist with the most weeks spent at number one on Billboard's Artist 100, and the number one female touring artist of the 2010s, 910 million. She's done almost $1 billion in touring in the 2010s. Okay, those are serious numbers. Four artists of the year titles, who joins Michael Jackson as the number one most awarded artist in American Music Awards history, both with a whopping 24 wins each. So, okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. I can understand that. I don't follow Taylor Swift. I don't know anything about her, but is Taylor Swift the one who sings about her exes? Yeah, that was her like one of her first 3 hits were about songs about her exes. Yes, lyrics are repetitive. She can carry a note. I'll give her that. But all Beyonce does is shake her butt and sing. Oh, you're talking about Beyonce. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, Artist of the Decade, Taylor Swift. Good for her. APEC is trending. Oh, my goodness. Chile cancels APEC summit in Santiago next month. Well, shocker. There's some major trouble going on in Chile. They're having the big protests. Trump should offer to host APEC at the... I don't even know what APEC is. APEC is what? White House seeking clarity on APEC summit cancellation. Gidley. Chilean president cancels APEC and climate summits amid wave of unrest. I don't know what APEC is. If you know what the APEC summit is, let me know. Oh, maybe here. Let's see. Here we go. Here's a Bloomberg article on it. Let's go full screen on this one because I'm pretty sure this is too big for the. Okay. Chile cancels summit where Trump had hoped to sign China Accord. Economic Cooperation Forum. Okay, in Santiago. Thank you. Thanks, Maddie. How and when leaders of the world's 2 largest economies now meet to resolve their trade differences is the biggest question thrown up by the Chilean decision. The deal, which Trump announced on the contours of October 11th, had calm fears of a continuing escalation in the trade war that has cast a shadow over the global economy for the past 18 months. The cancellation suggests that the trade war uncertainty might be hanging over us for longer. Torsten Slok, the chief economist at Deutsche Bank AG, told Bloomberg Television after the announcement. It raises the risk that we could never see a phase 2 or phase 3. Chile also canceled the United Nations Climate Conference known as COP25, scheduled for December in Santiago. Okay, so yeah, they're having a lot of shit going on in Chile, so they'll have to move that APEC thingy there. Sorry, people. So APEC and COP25, that's why they are trending. I do like, now that I read the tweet, Trump should offer to have it at Doral. That's kind of funny, actually. Happy Halloween Eve is trending number 13. Woo! Halloween tomorrow. Oh, aren't those cute? I need to get some of these. Then I wouldn't have to carve pumpkins. Look at those. Those are awesome. Don't you wish you had one of those? All right. Those are kind of cool. Good morning. Happy Halloween Eve, everyone. A Halloween spell. A lucky Halloween. May the spell of the Halloween witches bring you good luck. And also riches. All right. So happy Halloween. Halloween's tomorrow. Don't forget, get some treats for them kids coming through your neighborhood. If you got a neighborhood, I don't know. Man, I used to love trick-or-treating when I was a kid. We had two neighborhoods, our neighborhood and the neighborhood over the hill, and then we had 3 huge apartment complexes, and so we'd run all through the freaking apartment complexes when you could still do that kind of stuff. Anyway, oh, look at the doggo. Isn't that cute? All right, moving on. Last couple things. Mr. Witherspoon, well, bang, bang, bang. Now, I'm going to guess, bang, bang, bang. Every morning I deal with K-pop in the trending section of Twitter. I'm going to guess that bang, bang, bang is something to do with K-pop. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. I know exactly what bang, bang, bang is. Oh, bang, bang, bang. That's John Witherspoon. That was one of his little shticks. Fam, our brightest comedic godbody star has made his transition to the ancestral, whatever that says, rest in paradise. Bang, bang, bang. He used to, that was his thing when he was talking about sexual intercourse. That was his bang, bang, bang. I thought for sure it was going to be some K-pop shit. No, again, rest in peace, John Witherspoon. And Mr. Witherspoon is also trending number 15. We're going to finish with, in fact, what we're going to do today. Moore Park. What is Moore Park? That's the last one. Oh, and that's, the fire burns near Moore Park in Simi Valley. So got to watch out for that fire. Let's finish off with little John Witherspoon. Someone had a clip of some comedy he was doing down here. Here we go. We're going to do 1 minute of John Witherspoon, then we'll close out the show. So here we go. No, bang. The Cher song is just bang, bang. Here we go.
Years ago, my group, the Temptones, broke up. But like they say, you can't keep a good thing down. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Temptones. Let's hear it for them. What that sound echoed in the night. The sound I hear when I'm holding you tight. Holding you tight. It's my baby, you just pray. It's my love going bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. You better run to cover your sweet little baby. When my love goes bang, 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 it's gonna be you and me again. Bang, bang, bang.
Listen to that. They hate us. Is that how we want to be remembered?
Yeah, they're ruining our good name.
We may not have always agreed, but we always stuck together. Well, come on. Let's go, Temptations.
Ladies and gentlemen, the real Temptones are here. We were just warming them up for you. That was a little joke. All right? The real Temptones, y'all.
Shove it up.
All right.
I'll pull you back, yo. Nappy weed.
Come on, show me he's doing pretty good, man. That girl's about to take her panties off. Yeah, she was just about to moon us. Now, come on. Wait, moon us? Okay, all right. Pop. She mooned you. Call me. I'm right there.
All right, anyway, that's Little John Witherspoon and the Wayans brothers. Hey, let's do this one. Let's see if this one is. All right, so anyway, that's John Witherspoon and his Bang, Bang, Bang. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to make myself scarce. Not a whole lot in the news today, but there's always more. I left so many articles on the table today because you just can't get through it all. And that's all. That was it was impeachment day. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, tomorrow's FTG Thursday. Just to remind you, if you have any nominations for FTG Thursday, you can send them to me via my Twitter handle right here at PDogKnight, or you can email them to me by taking that putting it on the other side, PDogKnight@gmail.com. And also, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button on the way out, okay? Because if you like what I do, hit the like. Let me know. Here's the thing: when you hit the like button, apparently that lets YouTube know that there are people who like this and should probably recommend it to people because they're not doing it right now. So if you hit the like button on the way out, I really appreciate that. Also, hit that share arrow, share it out. And finally, we do donations and super chats through the Streamlabs link in the description down below. Thank you, C. Thomas, for the couple super chats today. I really appreciate that. And for everybody who's keeping me on track and reminding me what things mean, like Maddie had to tell me what the APAC was. I appreciate that too. So, everyone have a good day. My name is PDogKnight. And I'm out of here. Have a great day. Hey, this is PDogKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDogKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDogKnight, and I'm out of here.
Like on the road, you have it, so you could just go out and driving, you do the car.